All right, grasshoppers. Look at these two handsome gentlemen. They both got their hats on. We were just discussing hairdos and 5 and 10% discounts at senior citizen places, and
right,
little different conversations. We used
yeah,
to
it's like the time. The three of us met one time at the town recycling center. Remember that one?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 3 old guys standing against the truck.
So that's what he said. All you big time hockey guys, huh?
Yeah.
Hanging out at the recycling center.
What do retired hockey players do? That's what hang out.
It was like an exciting Saturday afternoon. I mean,
that's right.
What else are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I was there with my jersey on, and I'm glad you guys are there. You only two that recognize me.
We should do that someday. We should go to the dump with our jerseys on and see if anybody even recognizes us then.
Anyway, how are you, boys?
I'm doing good. So Silky bailed on us. He told me he had an emergency meeting. I think the reality was probably couldn't turn on the computer. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I went for a coronavirus test, right? Up somewhere in Greenwich. I can't remember where it was. So anyway, so I go in there, and my daughter, who's 15, wants nothing to do with it, right? So we all get there. We're all signed up. So now I'll go first, and she goes, "They're not sticking something up my nose." I guess she could never have lived in the 70s.
Oh, Jesus.
I never did cocaine, but I saw a lot of guys do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go in first. I'm behind a tent, right? So the guy, this nice doctor, whatever you call them, I guess, are they doctors? I think they are, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so for your sake.
Well, they're doing the tests, right? So
they're landscapers. They're landscapers.
Yeah, car mechanics.
Well, he could be with this nose. It could be a mechanic.
Be a landscaper there with a weed whacker.
I need that for my ears now. Speaking of haircuts, so I go behind the curtain, right behind this thing, and the guy walks over and he shows me the ID, like your age and everything on it, birth certificate or birth date. So I go, yeah, that's me. So he walks over to this thing. He's doing something over there. He's like 10 feet away. I'm behind this curtain. So I go, oh! I start hollering. My kids are all out there panicking because they don't want to do it to start with, right? And I was like hollering. My daughter goes, "I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there." It doesn't hurt her nothing.
No. Now, when will you get the results, Chris? Tonight
or tomorrow.
Oh, good. Yeah, I haven't. Tommy, have you been tested?
No, I have not.
I have not either. My wife, my youngest son, who's here, is gone. They're both okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, my son needs to go to college.
Right.
My kids needed to go to school the week after next, whatever.
Right.
So I might as well go in there and do it. So.
Right.
It tickled, made my eyes water more than it didn't hurt at all. It wasn't like they say, they stick this thing up your nose. It's like, listen, if things can fit in this little beak, could you imagine the size of that thing they need to do Phil's nose? They would need one like this.
A little shovel or something, right?
Shovel, yeah. A backhoe. Oh, God.
People are happy, Gresh. Finally, it sounds like you got a microphone here so people can hear you talking now.
It took me a while to figure it out, Tom, but I figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to talk into it before and then see where it goes up to. Like, oh my God, I'm like Silky. I'm gonna go back to Dave. I'm gonna go back to the rope and the string and that.
The tin cans.
How's the liquor store?
But not quite as busy today as it's been. I think a lot of people are, believe it or not, out of town, and it's good. It's great, little neighborhood spot. It's good.
Yeah. So, Chris, what happens? Like your whole family, do they just stop working on Thursday afternoons and just watch the show?
Well, a lot of cousins of mine from Canada,
right?
A lot of them watch the show,
right?
And they're very critical of me and nice to you guys.
Oh yeah,
that's the way family is. But I have some great cousins up there. My father had a big family, and my mother had a huge family. My mother's the only one, I think. My mother's the only one left on her side of the family.
Yeah.
And my uncle Joe, he's probably 75 or 78, whatever now. He was my dad's youngest brother, and he not doing.
That's a little bit of a spread there, 75 or 78.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how old he is. I can't remember. He was 10 years older than me or 13 years older than me. And I know he's one of those too. So I know he wasn't 25 years older than me. Oh,
Chloe?
my daughter.
Oh,
That's Chloe. Yes. I don't know where Chloe went.
Yeah.
let's do
I don't
research.
even know where I am. All I know is I look out sometimes. I look out sometimes in the morning, and I see this like thing walking through the darkness. You know?
That's Tommy. Is that Tommy
Yeah.
Martin?
Yeah, I'm on my third bathroom run, and there's Tommy walking.
David, you got any home improvement project going on, Dave, or what?
Not really. Not yet. Get into the fall, we start cleaning up the yard a little bit and
Right.
continue to organize garage. Turn the garage into a bit of a little gym. So finally, got to track down a few more pieces of equipment, which was really hard during the pandemic because everybody was looking for equipment, right?
What do you need?
Just they've got to fill in on the set of dumbbells we have here. So and
So
stuff like that.
you got a set right here.
yeah. Got a couple of dumbbells, right?
Now, so when fall comes around, the leaves are falling. Will you get up and clean out the rain gutters?
No, I don't do the gutters. I fell off a ladder in 1994. No, 1988. Whenever. So I was taking tennis balls out of the eaves, and I fell like 15, 20 feet, and I landed. I landed on my right foot, and my navicular bone is the bone on the inside of your foot, and it exploded. I was on crutches from December 12th till March, like 16th.
Wow.
They had to put 4 pins. So that's the last time I've been up on the roof doing anything. So
yeah, I fell once.
Yeah.
I was when I was living in Florida. I built a hurricane room right on my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I was putting all these shelves up, and I remember it was December 2nd. We were putting the tree up. So I go in and I'm building this thing, and I got a couple more boards to put on top of the shelf because the thing had a big door in it. It was all like, you could go inside and you wouldn't even know there was a hurricane going by. So we go in and have dinner, and I go to my wife. I'm going to go out and finish putting this one board up. It was like 12, 13 feet up. She goes, okay. She goes, but use the step ladder. Don't use that thing you're standing on. Oh yeah, no problem. you know those plastic things you stack up in the garage and you put stuff on. I jumped on a bar stool and I jumped on top. I went on top of that, and I'm putting the screws in. And I go to put the last screw in. The thing splits in half.
Oh wow!
And I fell down and I landed right on a drill. So I was really, and I smashed 3 ribs on this side, right, fractured. And then as I'm laying on the ground, I look up, and the board I was putting on the top shelf, I must have grabbed it. And it was a 2 feet by 4 foot board, hit me right here. So it gashes me open here. I'm laying on the floor, and my son comes in. He goes, Dad, we need these more lights. I'm going, they're over there because I can't talk because of my ribs. So I go inside, and we had a couple bottles of wine, for dinner, right? This is like after dinner. So I go inside and I go, Lori, she looks at me, she goes, oh my God. We go in the kitchen and I'm bleeding, like down my head here. I'm bleeding all over the place. She goes, oh my God, that's terrible. I go, no, that's not the bad part. I lift my shirt up and I got big gouge on the side of my side, and I can't breathe. My ribs are all smashed.
Wow.
End up not being that smart. I was watching, that's when, remember Deal or No Deal, that show came out,
Yeah.
I was watching that one night, and I'm taking Percocet to try to kill it, but it has the opposite effect. It slows everything down and hurts it more. Next morning, ambulance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good Christmas to remember.
They let me out. 2 days later, came back, and my oxygen intake was only like 89 to 90%, which is supposed to be like 95 or 96.
Mm-hmm.
Next morning, back in the hospital again.
Wow.
And I don't remember going in the second time. I was passed out. I don't remember nothing about it. It was like,
yeah.
See, nothing. That's why, like, I don't know why I'm taking the coronavirus test. Nothing can kill me. Like 40 years of what I did from 15 to 60, those 45 years. If that didn't kill me, I'm here for a long time.
Long time.
Nothing. Gresh, yep.
But
You
let's
guys
go
watch
to
all?
hockey. Hold it. Let's go to a little bit of hockey here.
No, I would. Yeah, keep telling stories about you getting hurt. I like that.
No, because Dave fell 15 feet. I only fell like 7, really.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, and like 15 feet, I probably would have been dead because I fell right on that big. It was a big to make into the cement. You know, the drill. Oh my god.
So just so everybody knows too, like Gresh and I live like probably 50 feet apart from each other right now, and I've been waiting for like 2 months.
53.
53. I've been waiting for 2 months for that mask that your sister sent. She was nice enough to send it.
Which one, Tom?
Well, didn't Linda just log on and say hello? Did I see that?
I don't want to blame Linda. She's done her part. She sent it here.
Sent it to her responsible brother.
Oh, which one, Tom? This one?
Yeah. The one it's good to see it's still in the pack. You just put it in the package again.
Can I see your legs?
No, they're broken. I fell off the roof.
Well, then I'll bring it over to you.
Yeah.
You're putting up a tree.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you want to pick on Mike Milbury a little bit? Or I'm trying to think if we got anything to pick on him about. Any new? Like we could have that segment every week.
Yeah. I mean, I listen. Games kind of all run together, right? Like,
yeah.
I tell you though that it's been exciting. But I listened to him yesterday a little bit, and he just sounded like he'd rather have been.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, rather than have
sock drawer.
Yeah. Or something.
Yeah, like there's no analysis there at all. It's just like, oh, that was a good shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he goes in. Well, I think the guy could have been a little better. Well, is there like any excitement in the game, or is it just like? The game is fast and Christ. You
guys watch? Have you guys watched Colorado?
Oh,
I'm coming back. I'm coming back as that guy.
Who McKinnon?
Yeah. He was funny too. We got interviewed talking about some reporter asked him if he was going to get tired because he played a whole bunch of minutes. He says, "No, that's why I win the conditioning test every year, or the fitness test every year." He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
he looks like a bull, though, doesn't he? Look like a bull. Like
how about he ragdoll the kid Fisher? Fisher's 225, 230 pounds.
Yeah, that was good.
He just ragdolled him. It was unbelievable.
It was scary.
But he's like McDavid, right? Like when he takes it up a notch, you're like, okay, what are we supposed to do?
One thing I think he's better than McDavid. Like he's kind of like that bull too, like he's going through people.
You know what he reminds me of? Like he's the next generation of Messier, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's as mean as Mark Messier was, but that's who he reminds me of. He's just the next generation of Mess.
Yeah. Messier was just Messier. I can't remember. I think they were. I can't remember which Sutter brother it was though. They were playing Philadelphia in 87 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And one of the Sutter brothers was like kind of like japping him a little bit. Next thing you saw, the Sutter brother going spitting all his teeth out.
Yeah.
No, that he's. But I think you're right. I think he's got a little more grit than McDavid. But boy, oh boy, when they take it to that next level, I mean, how do you stop them? Like, we all talk. Like the three of us were defensemen. How about getting caught flat-footed or even ready?
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Even at full speed, you go by me.
Colorado, they're gonna be tough to stop, right? Kadri's playing well now. That
that Makar is a hell of a player, too, defenseman.
Would you trade the Rangers' first round pick for any of those two, Makar or McDavid? I mean McDavid or
McKinnon? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartbeat. I mean, the thing is with the and I think we've all talked about this. I think that first round pick is turning 18. He's probably. I know everybody wants him as same as Kako last year. I mean, you come in and you got to be a man to play in the league for starters. I'm not sure McKinnon McKinnon took time, right?
He took 3 or 4 years before he got to.
He was 186 pounds when he was drafted number 1 as an 18-year-old. He's 218 pounds now.
Yeah.
So it's just that's 20, 30 pounds difference, and he's a man now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dave, if anybody knows between 18, 19, and 20, you were there.
I was there. You weren't much. You were young too, 19, 20.
I was 19 when you were 18.
So, Tommy, when did you come out? How old were you?
I was 21 when I turned pro. So, yeah.
I do think there's a big difference, even 18 to 21, 22, let alone when you get to 23, 24.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, big difference in everything. I mean, a lot of stuff like in strength wise, that's a big difference between weighing 170 or 195 or 205 at that time. You know, it was a big
I
difference.
think too, when you come, you don't know anything when you come up, right? You just play.
Yeah.
Right. You just play. Nobody knows you or anything like that. Then you get a little sense of it, and then you realize, honestly, it was probably a second or third year pro before I really felt like, okay, now I can, rather than just kind of, where like Gresh could always hold the puck, right? Like to me, that's the sign of somebody that doesn't ever panics. It's just like take the puck. When there was chaos around, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to hold it. I want to get rid of it. I don't want it, Until I was a little bit older. Then I realized, you know what? Maybe I can keep this a little longer than I have for 3 years.
See, I was the other way around. Where Herbie, I tell the funny story all the time. You guys probably won't remember it, but we're before practice, before our first game, when Herbie was coaching, and he's going around the whole team at the center ice at Playland there. Greshner, you run the power play. Maloney, you're doing this. Barry Beck's doing that. He says, Tommy, when you get the puck, give it to somebody else. You're not supposed to have it. Right in front, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody started dying laughing. I was crying. I thought I had a good rookie year. I thought this. Yeah. I would play maybe power play a little bit. It was so funny.
Yeah,
skated away.
Well, I'll tell you, my on the other end of that was towards my end of my tenure with the Rangers. We were in Chicago, and he was going through the lineup before the game. And he went through same thing. Gresh, you'll do this. Tommy, you'll do that. Or Bubba, you'll do this. And Dave, I want you to let me know when there's 5 minutes on the clock in every period. Let me know when we're getting under 5 minutes. So I'll never forget, too. I'm sitting on the first period beside Jan Eriksson, and I scream, "Hurry! 4:58 left! 4:58 left!" I'm kind of an excitable boy, right? Jumping up and down, and it was Peter Sundstrom and Jan Eriksson on both sides of me. They were like rookies. They're like, oh. I was gone about 2 weeks later.
Oh God!
I remember Donnie did something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Quebec City when Ted Sater was coaching, and Ted was giving Don a hard time. Oh, he wasn't playing him much and all this kind of stuff. And then Ted comes in and makes this big speech. Like Don must have done something well. He says, "Don, you're going to go up to the first line now because you're because of that play that was unbelievable." And Don's giving it the fake, like oh, thank you. Like he's joking around, but
that crazy look your brother had.
Yeah,
he was like,
but Teddy Sater thought he was serious, and we're all dying laughing because Don's going, "Oh,"
and he's so privileged. And we're all laughing. It's like, oh, like,
and Ted Sater's going, no, you deserve it. You deserve it. Oh,
it's funny. I remember that now.
There was Quebec City, wasn't it?
It wasn't cool. Yeah. Oh, Don, you're
well,
Don's like, oh God, that was like.
How about when we talked to Clark Gillies? He got over his little run-in with Ted Sater. Oh my God! I thought he was going to jump right through the screen.
Oh, can you imagine that happening? Imagine being Ted Sater where Gillies is coming after you doing that.
Yeah, it was bad enough when you could protect yourself with a stick.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're a coach and the guy.
Did you guys watch the Tampa Columbus series very much?
Yeah.
I was wrong about Tampa. I didn't think Tampa was playing winning hockey. I actually think they learned a lot from Columbus about how to really play the winning hockey.
Find a way, right?
Yeah.
And that's it took Washington how many tries before they finally figured it out, and then it still didn't win.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years. It's been like 8 now for Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Since
they're playing without Stamkos, but they're
what do you guys did we have this debate talking about how when teams lose some star players, some ways it makes them even play better? Do you guys buy that? Like you lose a key player like a Stamkos, you think they think, well, geez, we're not as talented as we were. We really got to buckle down now and play better defensively. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something certain to that. I think the longer it goes, if you have better horses than your opposition, by the end, better horses are going to make a difference. So if Stamkos is out to the thing, I think the longer it goes, because everybody else is probably healthier or whatever. But no, I think they rally around the troops, and they've got a lot to rally around, though, that group.
Yeah.
You know what? They've got boy, I'll tell you, the Rangers were in there in November. Oh, my God. It was 5-0 after 6 minutes. They scored 4 in the power play. And I was on the sidelines, right? I'm down in the corner in the Ranger end. So usually they'll come to you whenever you've got something to say or whatever. I'm going like, what am I going to say about this? This is going on, and they're good. So that was it for me for the night. I was done. And,
that Shattenkirk's playing pretty well too.
Yeah, he's a guy you just he's not the same thing as Kreider. The same thing. Just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Just let him do his thing. Don't think he's going to be out there your top thing defending. Just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
He's good in the third, fourth, fifth position or whatever, but he's
right. He can. He'll give you some minutes. He's going to make a play that a lot of other guys aren't going to make.
Yeah. He'll score a goal for you like he did the other night.
Right.
Yesterday, whatever.
And Braden Point's a pretty good little player, isn't he?
Yeah.
God, he tracks the
puck. That guy, he's a freaking gnat, that guy. He's all over the place.
To me,
Columbus though too. Columbus is just like, if Tortorella is the best coach in the league, getting the most out of his team. It's
what though, Tom? And again, I wouldn't disagree with you any, but he I don't know if he could ever coach the skill that you need to win.
Yeah.
And it's he did win. He won in 04, right?
Yeah.
Rick was 21, LeCavier was 22. They were all young, and they had that like Tim Taylor and Andrechuk and the older guys that, kind of put up with Torts. That's the only thing. I just, did you see his post-game thing yesterday at all?
Oh, when he walked off? Was that when he walked off? I couldn't tell if that was that one or the one before. Or the one before that.
So it's like you see it's like the wheels are turning when the questions, because the question was about being together and this kind of warm and fuzzy stuff, which Torts is a lot of things, but warm and fuzzy are not. He's a loyal guy. He's all this,
but you know what though, Dave, I agree with you about the coaching the talented guys, but you think a kid like Seth Jones, I mean, he well, all accounts he loves him, but I guess he loves him. He's playing 30 minutes a game, so he's going to love him. But
listen, I just, when you get, I always thought he wanted Marion Gaborik to play more like Ryan Callahan than Marion Gaborik.
Right.
And you do want your top guys to kind of buy into that too. But I think, and again, this is never being in the room, or day to day with them, being around, you kind of got that kind of look, and and I think there are
probably. Oh, sorry, go
ahead. I think there are
coaches. He could probably coach a Crosby, but he couldn't coach a Phil Kessel.
Right. Yes, or Marian Hossa, like those guys that kind of fit. The guys that, like Marian Hossa was saying to me, he couldn't be the guy that you had to go to. Right?
Yeah.
But boy, you put him in a supporting cast, and he's a Hall of Fame player, hands down. I think Kessel's a lot the same way, and to a certain degree, to me, Rick Nash was the same type of player.
Yeah.
He's. I don't know. Do you think Nash is a Hall of Fame player?
Nash is a Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
He's probably as close as a lot of guys that are in there.
Right. If you looked at his numbers, I'll bet there are guys in there that don't have his numbers.
Well, and the one thing is too, when you remember back like the Canada Cups and the Olympics or whatever, when he played, like he was always the guy that got selected, but it was a whole different role for him. Like,
totally. He was. That's what I'm saying. There are those elite players that sometimes are going to be better served by just being in being in the background. Rick Nash not going to be in the background, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
His personality wasn't the guy to be up front, right? He played that. He was comfortable being that guy on the Olympic team that played the third or fourth line, and really was an important part of the team. But
right, that's it. And again, so you guys think you can have a winger as your top player?
Yeah, I do. I hear this argument that it has to be a centerman or a goalie or defenseman or whatever. I don't buy that. I think a winger can be just as dominant a player. Yeah.
Or you, Brad?
I think your centerman has to be. Could be a 1 and a 1A, You know what I mean? Something like that.
Mhm.
Because you need that guy. Like you look at the teams like Boston, they got Bergeron. Okay, he's not. To me, Bergeron's not. Tell me like one thing he's a 10 at, but he's a 9. He's a 9 at all the other. Like he's
Yeah,
so
right.
good from end to end, and he kind of drives that team. And then you got like
Thank you.
well, you can't McDavid. You can't put in there and McKinnon, but McKinnon is like all over the ice. The other guys just sort of run around where he's not, and end up scoring goals. I mean, I think Kadri was it Kadri came from
Yeah.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah, I think he just when he sees McKinnon on the ice, when he gets a chance to be out there, he goes, I can pick up 2 goals and shoot the puck 5 feet. I'm happy.
So Gresh, you don't think that your star player has to be a centerman?
He doesn't have to be, but the guy right next to him has to be like very close. You need a big centerman. I don't mean size wise, but I mean production wise. To be look at Crosby. When he's going, that team goes. Last couple of years in the playoffs, and he scored a couple goals this year, but you know it's tough when nothing happens. And
What do you think, Dave?
I just think that if you go down, and maybe Ryan is going to have this, it's not right or wrong, it's just an observation. But so it took so long for Ovechkin to win as a winger. Nash never won as a winger. I think you can find a lot of cases where there are big-time wingers, make Kessel, big-time wingers that until there was a team, there was somebody down the middle, let alone, I guess, the goalie's obvious, right? And I think a goaltender has to be 95% of his game, 90% of the regular season. That's to me the importance of goaltender, because that then gets you in, right? Then we've seen goaltenders get hot in the playoffs. I also think you need a horse on the blue line with a good bat, like Brian Leach and Zubov.
Dave, though, on the defense, and I hear you in most cases, but when Pittsburgh won their last 2 cups, the first one that they won, they didn't have anybody. Letang was hurt. Was it the first or second one?
Second one was hurt. Right.
And they really didn't have any studs back there. I mean, they just, they had good defensemen. But that means if that's going to happen, they got to have a group of forwards that are willing to play that really high defensive game, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So with a winger, like Ovechkin's got Backstrom, right? Is it Backstrom or?
Yeah, Backstrom or Kuznetsov.
Right.
So that's their 1-2 when he's healthy, right?
Yeah. So to your point, if your star player is a winger, he's got to have a good centerman with him.
Right.
But if your star player is a centerman, does he have to have good wingers with him?
Both. You still need somebody that can. You still need that 1 and 1/8. Doesn't matter which way you go.
Yeah.
You look back. The only team that I can remember that never, well, maybe like the Montreal Canadiens in the '70s, they had Peter Mahovlich, they had Lemaire, right? But they had
Doug Jarvis, Dougie Wright.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't. They just had such a overwhelming display of talent in that team,
Right?
Size and defensemen and everything else. But then you moved to the Islanders for those 4 years. Trottier, Goring.
Right.
Then he moved to the Islanders, right? I mean to the Oilers. And then you got Gretzky, Messi. I mean, how do you beat that? It's hard to beat those 4 guys.
No, we're talking about the combination of a winger and centerman, though.
Yeah,
I think a center icing is the most important position. He's got to cover a lot of. You got to cover a lot of the ice. That's what I used to say to Don. This wing position's easy. All you got to do is skate. In our day, all you did is stay 6 feet by the boards and went up and down.
Well, yeah. In '81, when I went and played left wing with the 2 Swedes, I don't think I went. Only time I went into our end is when
you got lost
between periods. I wasn't going in there.
I do. I really do think. I think you've got to have. I think you've got to be strong in the middle. I really do.
Yeah, I do think you have to be strong in the middle, but I still think your star player could be a winger. But you're right. You definitely
it could be. Well, it's like baseball. Strong down the middle, right?
Right. Catch, pitch, center field, second base. Right. That's an interesting, because I think when you look at the Rangers now, that you have Zibanejad nicely established in his career.
Yep.
Is there somebody there that center iceman that's going to kind of threaten people when Zibanejad's not on the ice? And you're like, not quite yet. Now maybe Hedl becomes that guy in a year or two. See, I think
Heedle's more of a centerman. He's a centerman.
Yeah, he's a center iceman. So how it should play out is you go, Heedle becomes the guy they think he might become. He becomes a strong 2. Howden slots into 3. And then you can find a free agent or something that fills in at 4, or find somebody at 4, So,
or if you get lucky enough to get the first round pick overall.
Yeah, but there's not the center iceman is the big kid from Sudbury.
I know.
Yeah.
He's only 17 and 230.
Yeah.
Where is he going to? I mean, he filled all 3 of these screens, for Christ's sake. I mentioned something. It was my son's birthday last week, and he's no longer a teenager. So we're going out for dinner, and we're driving to the restaurant, and we're going to park. I'm sitting in the back with my daughter, and my 2 sons are in the front, and they start hollering, these kids. I'm going like, what the heck? There was Panarin standing on the sidewalk going into the restaurant, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they parked the truck, and they took hobbling down the street, bad back and all that crap. So I go up and I introduce myself to him. The kid is so nice.
Oh, he's
and he took pictures with my sons. They were like just.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's because he knew who you were. Like, you're a Ranger royalty. I mean,
well, it doesn't matter about that. He was nice to other. He was so it was just nice to see somebody like that making that much money and not saying "F you" to you.
Hey, Tommy, my observation on this is that Gresh is the only one of the 3 of us that can afford to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, and you know where he went? Like a place where they valet parked the car.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't driving. I don't care. But it was like
tremendous.
It was just nice to see a guy, 25. What's he? 26 years old, not 27. And
I agree, though, Dave. As far as the money, I went to Costco today. It was a big expense to buy stuffed salmon instead of just regular salmon today.
Yeah, he kind of stretched.
Yeah,
you probably had a coupon, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Hey, listen to me, Dave. I live 53 steps from him. You think there's been an invite for dinner? All the times he cooks, he's throwing an extra pork chop in there. Ron's coming over.
I like the way it is. I put your picture up on the wall there once a week.
I'm good. I'm good with that,
Yeah.
Ron.
Nobody's talking.
I do like the Rogues Gallery, the gallery that you have there. So Brad Richards is there, right?
Well, Boomer's there, and when Boomer had Craig Carton as his partner, Craig Carton was always picking on him, saying that he had like a man crush on Brad Richards.
Oh,
he doesn't. Yeah. So I'm like a dog on a bone. I'm not letting that one go.
Yeah, it's funny because I looked at the selections. Other people are up there. And Brad Richards, I wonder what that one's all about.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah. Nobody. I guess I need to change it up. I got Nikki on the pie plate too, and I think people have kind of forgotten that we call it pie face. So I think it was kind of funny at first, but I'm gonna have to change that up.
We got to do, Tom. Those plates you buy to make pies in?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters are going shopping today. I'm going to get a couple of those. You put one on each side and put Nikki's face in between them.
I like it.
Tommy, that'll be good, Tommy, because when he brings it over, he can bring the mask over.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, no, I'm not bringing
together
it
now.
over. No. Listen to me.
It's so nice of your sister too. You know what?
Still in the bag.
I think you used it and put it back in the bag.
Yeah.
Never been open, Tom. Never been open.
So who we got tonight? There's not a game till 8:00. I actually enjoy those afternoon games too.
Yeah. Well, we've got Calgary. Calgary's on at 10:30.
Yeah.
And it's
Islanders.
Islanders, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Islanders, Washington's playing better now. So I'm saying Washington wins tonight.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Ovechkin. That's the thing. You talk about Ovechkin. We talked about him before, and I think we mentioned this before. Like when you go play the Caps and he's on like an 8 or 9 goal streak.
Yeah.
You know what? This is going to end at some point.
Yeah.
When he has a scored 3 or 4, and then he did nothing. I watched the game the other night. He did nothing for a period and a half.
Yeah.
And then bang, and then he gets another one, bang, and you're like, oh.
Montreal, Philadelphia have been boring games except for the last night's game. Last night was good.
Whoa.
Yeah, I only saw the highlights. Montreal's fun to watch. They play a high-speed game. They They do. They're fun to watch. And
It's funny how everybody stays away from that number 6, though, that big dude in the back.
Weber. Oh, I like it. He's
They
good.
hit him, but they're like,
so I was one time too. When he was in Nashville, I was behind the net as the position of visitor's net. So I'm behind Henrik for 2 periods in Nashville when he was still in Nashville. So I'm telling you, Weber fires an absolute bomb towards the net, right? So a couple of days after practice, I said, I just said to him, I said, boy, that guy can shoot it. He said, he's the one guy in the league, the puck sounds different when it goes by. It sounds different. Oh.
Dave, is there a reason some of the fans were suggesting that they're covering up the lower bowl seats because so the goalie can see the puck better? Any truth to that? Or is it just an aesthetics thing?
I think it's just the aesthetics. I wouldn't, I don't know. Although, were you guys listening the other night in the Dallas game when the league told the goaltender he had to put the white tape on top of his goal stick?
Yeah.
And that was the thing. So Pierre he calls Mike Murphy, right? And Mike says it's in the book. And so Pierre reads the rule. Well, the question why is that rule in there? Like, what difference does it make?
I've seen it called before, and there was a rationale for it too. I can't remember what it was. I think it was
maybe the puck, or if maybe with a stick, if it's a dark thing, the puck, they can't find the puck or something, or
there's some reason.
oh, really? I didn't even know that was a rule.
Yeah. So, like, Pierre's like rule 10A double C, subtext F or whatever. You're like, holy cow.
Nobody wouldn't have been able to dial the phone, brother.
Yeah.
Well, Pierre, the stick was standing up. Pierre couldn't see that, could he? Because it's too far away.
Yeah. Pierre's a little different one too.
He rubs some people the wrong way. I like Pierre, but
I like him too. I like him too. When he comes up with some stuff, you're like,
yep.
Wow, okay, whatever. He's where the guy went to grade school and who his sister dated when she was in high school. Okay, good.
Kevin Weeks, I think, is fantastic at his job when he does, but he's the name dropper too. He's always dropping. I talked to so and so in the organization, and again, I love him on there. He's fantastic. But
he's really good.
I will honestly. I'm not going to say whatever, but it was quoted. He was quoted as talking to someone in the Ranger room.
Oh,
and so I asked. I haven't talked to him.
Oh.
It's now, maybe he was protecting Kevin or whatever, but I'm like,
no.
Okay, whatever.
He's good though. He's funny because we really watch him, and it's hilarious sometimes when he gets going. He'll talk to 10 people in one sentence, all the people he's talked to. So,
well, that's the same. Like I would being down between the benches is unbelievably exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's the game is so fast. You guys know how fast. Like you crash your down at ice level. Tommy, you've been down there, and then the benches are here. And then when I hear a certain guy say, "Well, this is what's going on in the bench," or "This is what the guy told me," really, it's so loud down there. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. But maybe he's younger than I am. Maybe my hearing's.
Well, that's one thing I really hated about the Delta Club, and when between periods it got loud in there, and I couldn't really concentrate very well because I sat in there when the game was on too. So I was like, we gotta get bigger TVs in here. This is not right.
They get a little blurry at some point, Gresh, or?
Well, not as much in the last couple of years, Dave, but
yeah.
Yeah, prior to my 60th birthday, days were blurry.
Days were blurry. Yeah.
I'll admit a couple. I did have a couple cocktails in my life, but I don't remember. I had matter of fact, I had a couple on my son's birthday.
There you go.
Yeah. Jack.
It was my grandson's birthday yesterday, so
wow.
1 year old.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, he's born the same day as my father. So
does he call you Grandpa?
Calls me Grandpa. Well, he's one. He didn't call it, but I'm Grandpa Dave. That's
So you're not going to have some other name. You're going to go with some people won't call themselves Grandpa. Right?
No. I mean, well, the alternative. Let's just say, well, you're a certain age. Well, so what?
Not what you can do about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. I never, even when I never look at anybody and think, well, like when somebody told me how old whoever it was, like when Hank was 38, I said, he's 38. Like, I just never think of anybody age, whatever the age is.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for Dale Howard. I mean,
Oh,
rest in peace. And,
oh my God, 57.
what a hockey player that man was.
Wow.
I mean,
And he battled that thing for like 3 years. So really, 54 years of life. Damn, that was sad. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Although I do think about age, Gresham, I think now some of the gals we used to hang around with who like when we were 20, they might have been 30. So
40?
now you're like
40?
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm no oil painting. I'm gonna say that right now. But
I remember I'm like Schultz on Hogan's Heroes. I don't remember anything. I see nothing.
I see nothing. I hear nothing.
I see nothing. I hear nothing.
We're all in our 60s, for God's sake.
Tommy, before you got there, right? When we lived in Long Beach, there was a few little bars we went to, and stuff like that.
I've heard that.
And I remember one night I got my ear cut off. This one here got cut in half. Or was it this one? I don't remember now. One of these two. And anyway, we got it cut, so I had to go I went out and finished the game, and I went to the doctor, and Dave came with me.
Right.
Up to someplace on Park Avenue, I think it was, wasn't it, Dave?
Right.
So we get.
Oh, that was very cool.
And they got this towel around me, like a hole right here, my ear sticking out, and Dave's watching this, and they're clipping my ear, put it back together, and he's telling me this after. So we start. It's like I'm taking these pills. I'm like, this is like 1977 or something like that.
All right.
And we end up stopped at a bar on the way back. Remember on First Avenue. Then we went to the digs after that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The bus stop on the way home. Crash was all Percocet, whatever we were on.
I remember all I know is like I'd be looking at things and my eyes would go.
His ear was out like this, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was nice. But
do we think the Caps take the Islanders to Game 7? Yes, I do.
You do, huh? I don't know. I think it's
not like in either one of those teams. Can they both lose?
I
just think the Caps got a little bit of a roll now. I don't know. I love the way the Islanders are playing. I just.
I think if the Islanders don't win today.
The series 3-1 or 3-2? 3-1.
3-2.
3-1.
You're right, 3-1.
I think if the Islanders don't win tonight, there's going to be it'll go all the way to 7.
You can't be hedging your bets on whether they win tonight or not. Come on,
I'm not hedging. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think they do. I think the Islanders are just too fundamentally sound. I do. If now, the thing is, you go back to Ovechkin. Now, is he on one of these streaks where he's going to get 8 goals in 3 games? But no, I think the Islanders. I think Varlamov's good enough to make the save he has to make. They're so fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
Barzal can be a game breaker. The Islanders got a lot of good things going.
Yeah, and Hopi hasn't been awful, but he hasn't been great.
No, he hasn't been good.
Yeah. So, but he's gonna. You know what? He's gonna redeem himself. Yep. We'll go to Game 7.
Do you see any new pictures? Do you guys see any new pictures of the Islanders' new?
Only what I see, what they show on the telecast.
Yeah. So I hope to get more than 5,000 fans in there.
Yeah, they will when the Rangers play there.
Well, that's the only time the Devils sell out too. But it's the Devils building is a nice building. It is. It's a great place to watch a game. Mm-hmm. And I hope the Islanders do well there. I mean, the Belmont. I mean, all they got to do is put a casino right there, and then you got it made.
Right. Well, the problem with Brooklyn, they weren't getting the people from up in Suffolk. I mean, they were. Hey, listen. At the end of the day, if they're good, which I think they're a really good team. I think they're. When you get Lamoriello and Trotz, you get 2 solid hockey people running the place. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, there's expectations for players.
I have my friend of mine's. His name is Vinny Spano, and his nickname is Vinny Fish Sticks. I call him. He's a. Islander fan,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like calling Vinny Fish Sticks, and he's not very happy with that.
Did we touch on the Tuukka Rask thing last week?
No, we didn't.
I thought that was. And apparently, some more stuff has come out. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw this morning he might have a daughter that.
Yeah.
In a little bit of trouble or something like.
And I guess he made some comments on the phone to him that really scared him or whatever. And they didn't give all the details, but there's stuff.
What's that?
He's got a young daughter that I guess it was a health scare, and then she was on the phone with him. And the report, I guess it came out on Twitter or something, and they were careful about not giving out too much information, but kind of alluding to the fact that it's something with his young daughter. So listen, I think you know what, we don't know. This is a unique time, and for us to try to judge anybody. And what I like from the Bruins was, right from top to bottom, it seemed like they were totally understanding that, Tuukka Rask is a great competitor, has been a great part of the team. And if he's going to make a decision like that to go home to his family, I admire him for it. I thought it was fantastic.
I do too. I mean, I think it's also indicative more of the generation, certainly than when we played. I remember when Anders left to have when his wife was having the baby. I mean, that was like, what?
I know.
Right.
Phil got all over him. I'm never forget.
No, yeah, but that was, there are a lot of things historically, and culture was the way it was. And you look back, you go, really? That was the way people thought?
I think.
No.
Yeah.
I don't at all think he should be judged.
Yeah.
Either way,
I think that if you left for family, that's real good reason.
Right.
But if you left just because whatever the other part wasn't playing well or didn't want to be there.
Yeah. I think that's just
stayed out before. But if it's for family, listen, Dave, you got a daughter. Tom, you don't have a daughter, but I have two of them, and they're like. You defend them, and whatever happens, if that's what it was. If it was a family thing like that, then I totally agree with him going.
Yeah. No, and even the guys like Hamonic out in Calgary who opted out before. Listen, he has the right to opt out, and that's his decision for whatever the motivation is for him, and whatever consequences may be the result of that decision. That's for him he's made the decision, willing to live his life the way he thinks he needs to live it. So I
think too. I know they're teammates and everything, but if a guy in another profession, a banker or whatever, in the same situation, if he said, "Listen, I'm not going to work because I need to stay with my family," you'd admire him, right? Because he's doing the right thing.
Right. I don't have a problem with it at all. No. It's admirable, really do. So and the Bruins just impressed me. They have such a culture. So I'm watching whatever the game ago or 2 games ago, and it was not Nordstrom, the winger, Swedish winger. I mean, the puck gets dumped in the opposition's end, and he tracks the thing down. Like most teams don't. They'll turn off or give. So what happens is he applies pressure on the opponent. Defender throws the puck away, creates a chance. I tell you, the Bruins culture is really the thing because really when you look at their lineup, I mean, they've got, Bergeron, Marchand, Krejci, Pastrnak, right? And the kid from Long Beach on the blue line, Chara.
Yep.
Although Bobrovsky's becoming a player, you know what? They got more good players than I think they're given credit for, now that I think about it.
Well, and I agree with you. Imagine sitting in the locker room and you got Chara and Bergeron there, and the way they work, the way they prepare themselves, the way they sacrifice. Like things like Chara talking about how rookies are treated. He said, "Listen, if you're on the team, you're on the team. You're not going to be treated any differently because you're a rookie." I'm with you, Dave. The culture they built there, from the top to the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just, they play, they work. That's what the Rangers played them their first visit in the Garden. It was like in November. And oh my God, it was man against boys. Now the Rangers, they grew over the course of the season, but oh my goodness gracious, that back end they come hard. Grizzlick and Clifton and Clifton. Yeah, they come hard. They support Torrey Krug. They're not big guys. But
here's one, guys. So Rangers have the first pick in the draft. Ottawa's got what, 3rd and 5th, or
3rd and 5, 3 and 5.
So are we going to – I'm not saying necessarily the Rangers draft pick, but are we going to have some picks traded?
Well, my understanding of this particular draft is there's 3, and then there is a drop off, but there's a significant depth of talent down there, right? So if you're Ottawa, so what would those picks get you?
Yeah.
What I think you've got to maybe stay.
Rangers aren't going to trade the first overall pick in the draft for the 3rd and the 5th, right? So really,
I don't think so.
yeah.
No.
You might, so LA has the second, right?
Right. Then Detroit's 4th, right?
Yeah, Detroit's 4th. So if you're the Rangers, which I don't know, would you contemplate trading the 1st for the 2nd?
Right. So, and if the need is, everybody believes the need is a centerman, if a centerman, existing centerman is part of the package.
But then that wouldn't work then if LA took Byfield at 1.
Right.
But you might get another asset. You would think that pick would garner another asset outside of that's just, Barstool talk. So it's good. Not that we discuss any stuff like this at a Barstool draft, do we? Or
No.
When is the draft? November?
no.
I don't think they've got a date.
Season's October, early October.
October.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like I think it's like the first week in October is the max the season can go. And then I think it's within a week after that. It's basically what they do in June when the season's over. It's because then they'll get into the free agency period too.
So they have the award show and everything?
That's worth watching, isn't it?
Another sock drawer.
They better.
I remember they had I never forget one year they had the Housewives of Las Vegas. And they gave might have been the MVP. It couldn't have been the MVP, but it was Marty St. Louis who won it. They come bounding out, and the winner is Marty St. Louis.
Oh, is that right?
No,
Oh, that's funny.
no. But anyway, so I didn't watch the actual because I was up in the Adirondacks. I didn't watch the actual lottery show. How was that?
It was good. Well, it was funny because the Ranger ball they dropped.
Oh my God, who's that?
Daughter.
My daughter.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you doing, neighbor?
I'm good. How are you?
How did your COVID test go?
It actually, I liked it. It tickled my nose. I thought it hurt.
Your father says
It
he's
was
screaming.
it hurt.
It never hurt at all. It never hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
I'm still laughing about it.
So what you're going into what? Are you a senior, junior? What
Yeah, I'm
year?
gonna be a senior. Yeah.
Going to be senior.
Mhm.
Boy, I hope you get your senior year in. Right.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Well, my son we graduated in June or whatever.
Right.
So we pull up in front of the Greenwich High School, and they wouldn't let us take a picture on top of the ramp with him. We're all in the same car, right?
Wow.
And we wouldn't let take. I go, are you kidding me? We can't go up there and take a picture with him. They go, no, it's just everybody individually. So they had another little station down the road, down the street, and that little turnaround there in Greenwich High School. So he's down there taking a picture there by himself. I go, hold on, we can't all get together. Well, you can stand over there. But what about in front of the Greenwich sign that says he's graduating?
Right.
Wouldn't let us. Anyway,
there you go.
like he really cared too. Like he's going, oh, thank God I'm done. Thank God I'm finished.
Yeah, exactly. He's out of there.
He wants to go to Syracuse next year after.
Oh,
Oh, good. You know his daughter's there is Kenny Albert's daughter's there.
Was that right?
Yeah, she's going into her. Gosh, she might be a senior, junior, or senior. So if you think of going up there for a visit, you should get in touch with him.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
will.
need to be up
Absolutely, yeah.
Have you been up there? Have you seen the school? No.
No, we haven't not yet.
Yeah. No. It's
Syracuse.
I think,
cute,
I think
right?
it's nicer just to get a job.
Yeah.
I have a job
Cheaper
back
for
when
dad.
I
Cheaper for dad.
Yeah. Really.
was in- Cheaper dad. It benefits dad.
Yeah, it benefits dads. Good for dads. Good for dad.
Maybe have her go to Northern Michigan.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'd love it up there.
Love it up
It's not
there.
cold at all. Listen, the temperature goes under 85. She shivers.
It's beautiful there during the summer, all 2 weeks.
That window.
Yeah, July 1st to July 10th.
No, I could
No,
never.
it's nice. It's a beautiful
I go
area
to Florida.
where
It
Tom
is
went to college. Like where Dave went to college, I went to the same college.
Yeah.
You went to college?
Yeah, we went to the same college together.
You never.
Yeah.
We did.
Hard knocks.
Yeah.
College?
College,
Yeah.
of hard, College of Hard Knocks.
University of Long Beach, New
Yeah,
York.
yeah. The digs, the digs too. College.
Yeah.
You had to take classes to get onto your job after hockey in Wall Street, though, right? Didn't you take classes then?
Yeah. Well, I had to take that was basically a cram course to
Right.
pass Series 7, which I hadn't. Yeah, that was a 6-hour exam I had to take, and I walked out of there and had such a headache that I was going to die.
Right.
But, it was. But I did. Yeah, I took a couple classes along the way.
So you were taking classes. I was going to truck driving school.
Truck driving school, right up in the hills of Pennsylvania.
So that's beautiful.
Tom's going to Kentucky next month.
Yeah.
I
There's
am
a
at-
wedding in Kentucky.
This girl that I was on Survivor with, she's getting married. in
Oh,
Kentucky.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you like arm wrestle her or something like that, or?
No, she's pretty funny though.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they were all characters.
Yeah. But she was really a character. She's pretty good. Like she's
Yeah.
real.
That's just good stuff. That's great. Maintaining
Cereal.
relationships, and that's great.
Yeah.
When is it? Remember?
Are you
Her
using-
wedding is September
Yeah.
5th.
I've never been to Kentucky.
I never have either. And she's like
Yeah.
right on the farm and everything. They've got
We've done it.
her on the farm, and she's a little farm girl, and her, her and her fiance. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun.
that's good. No, good.
Well, guys, I guess we need to. It's good to get these old guys on the show with us to tell stories, but they can't figure out how to turn the computer on. So,
Yeah, maybe we'll have to get a younger
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Got them.
let's go for younger guy like Vickers.
I swear to God, he couldn't even operate the phone when I tried to call him. Like, he couldn't even talk. on the phone.
I think he still has a flip phone.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. We get Stammer and we just ask him one question and the other.
Oh, yeah.
Get Stammer again.
We could go. We go for Phil again. That was a big hit.
Yeah, Phil again. Yeah, maybe to get an update on Tampa. You know.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
get
Well,
And
we
nobody-
could
and nobody-
listen, send in suggestions too. Maybe we try and reach out. Maybe there's somebody out there you want to.
Yeah. That's
One
a
of
good
the-
idea. Very
Right?
See, Dave, that's why you are working in a liquor store. Liquor makes you smarter.
Liquor makes you quicker.
Yeah. I always get smarter. I'm one of the smartest guys when I'm drinking.
Yeah, good dancer too, right?
I don't drink very often anymore, though.
Huh?
I don't
No,
drink
I
often
don't.
anymore.
You
Can't
know,
do it.
Tomorrow night we're taking the boat over to. We're going to pick up Mexican at Bar Taco.
Oh,
Oh,
Go for a little kind of sunset cruise tomorrow night.
that's
Oh.
nice.
Yeah, it'll be good.
you got a boat, Dave?
Yeah, my son's got himself a boat,
All
but
right.
we're financing it. But yeah,
I've been going doing my march at 7:00 at Todd's Point.
High Point. Yeah,
Beautiful. Wow, beautiful.
yeah, that's a hidden gem in town. Boy, that's great down there. It's awesome.
So I was trying to get a little extra exercise. So they got some big rocks lined up, certain places on the island there. So along the march, I'll stop and I grab one of these big rocks and I do this rock toss. So these old Greenwich people are coming by like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you probably have to have some sort of pass to do that.
Yeah, that's right too.
Go out there.
Yeah.
The rock,
Yeah.
rock toss.
That's funny. These old people are like, these 3-year-old ladies, they're really sweet. They're walking by and they're talking to each other and they're going, "What is he doing?" Doing?
So do you have your shirt on or off, Tommy? You leave your shirt on or?
Dave, you don't put a Picasso up on the wall and then put a cover on top of it. Right? That's what all I need to say about that.
All right.
Yeah, well,
Shirt off.
my shirt on, thank you.
Tarts
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well,
Okay.
See you next week.
next week we'll figure out. We'll get somebody else on, so you don't have to listen to us three dumbbells chat.
See you next week.
It's a pleasure, though. Keep
Yeah.
up the good work. See you guys.
Always, guys. Okay.